Mommy. Oh, I'm so tired of being sick. So we're going for it. We are going to mow. I need to get this taken care of. I did get the... Oops. I did get the big... The biggest, tedder. So I didn't have to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I got the moderately sized mowers. The 3-pack. And they do work with this tractor. I was a little bit concerned that this tractor was not going to have enough horsepower. No, they're there. To operate both mowers at the same time, because it's only 148 horsepower. So I thought it would be shy, but it actually works pretty good. Or should I say, well, properly. It works pretty well. It doesn't work good. It doesn't work real good. It doesn't work well, but it works well on flat surfaces. That's all. Since our fields are pretty flat in this game, it's not a big deal in this map. No, not yet. Oh, I guess we can. It's pretty wide here. That's what would happen to me during nap time. There'd be a dog that would bark like that if I was trying to take a nap. Our neighbors, when I was a kid, they used to have a dog that would bark like that. I'd get home, like in high school, I'd take like a little nap after school or whatever, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, the dog would be like, I'm like, shut that dog up. Shut up, your dog. I have a secret about these electric poles. There's no collision. So you can actually run through them. See that? Whoop. Now the box. I don't know about the box, but we'll just leave that area unmowed. Unfortunately, sorry, this is not going to leave much. This isn't going to give us much, but it's better than nothing. If I can get 5 bales, we can go ahead with our animal purchase. 5 should be enough for one day. I'm just going to drive right through this electric pole. Bzzz. At least this won't be a huge chore, because this is a pretty dang small field. Our goal, once again, 5 bales. Oh, that one is. Now, how funny is that? The other one is not, but this one is. This one's real. You gotta love inconsistency. That's another great thing about Giants versus the mods makers. Let's make this one real. And then this one will be fake. Let's see, this one might be real too then. Nope, fake. Okay, whatever. Oh, frame rate issues for sure. 16. Wow. It's this, whatever mod they're using to make the grass look different than it does normally. That's another point in Giants' favor. They do a pretty decent job of optimizing their maps. You can see here, this is where it gets a little slow. This is why people were whining about Zetter not having like a class, I don't know, like a class 5 or 6 tractor. They only gave us a class 4. I agree and disagree. The problem is this. the Frontera, and then of course the Crystal, which they didn't include, which kind of surprised me. We have an old Crystal, but they didn't include the new Crystal. There actually is a Crystal model that they still make. Is their most powerful tractor. That is the most powerful tractor at 160 horsepower. So really, or 158, something like that. So this tractor at 148 is pretty close to the highest horsepower tractor that Zetter makes. So we can get fussy about them not giving us a larger horsepower tractor, but at least with the Zetter brand, there isn't a larger horsepower tractor. Now, Jared shared with me a link. Jared, maybe? Somebody shared with me a link. No, it wasn't Jared. It was... Was it Jade? You'll have to speak up in the notes. I don't remember, but somebody shared with me a link showing some of the new ACGO tractors that they're working on. It was at a... They had like a farming expo somewhere in Europe, and they were showing some of their latest mods that are going to be coming out, or DLCs that are going to be coming out, including the Homer. The Homer was there. They also had 3 different tractors, including a Fendt, looks really nice, big Fendt, like a 900 series or larger. Maybe it was a 1,000, like the 1,050 or whatever, 1050. And then they also had a Valtra. And then they had some blue tractor. I'm not familiar with the brand. I hadn't seen it before, but the Valtra, I think, was green. And so anyway, there was some cool stuff that they were showing, and it was stuff that's going to be coming in the near future to the game. And people were like, oh, look at this. Now, I knew it was coming because... Hang on, I got to blow my nose. Because I had seen that announcement, and I showed you guys, I know I shared it with you guys at least, that they had made a merger with... ACGO, which meant that there would be a lot of brands coming. I was definitely hoping for Fendt, which is cool because we got it. I also made mention that I would like to see Alice Chalmers, which is, an American brand, an older, brand from like the 70s and 60s. It'd be cool to see some Chalmers equipment. Maybe even give us some of those open top, those old tractors. So anyway, that's pretty cool news. And that we got... Oh, where am I going with this? We got visual confirmation that that is coming. So, expect a DLC pretty soon with some other... and I think Valtra, if I'm correct, is also an Eastern European manufacturer. So that would mean that... Look at these shiny barns. That's kind of weird. So that would mean that, like... our Zetters would no longer be alone. And the Valtra that I saw looked pretty big. So it looked like it may be like a 250 or 220 horsepower tractor. Now we talk about horsepower and low horsepower and stuff like that. The funny thing is, okay, so my friend is a... it's that tractor that I videotaped. It was a 6000 series John Deere. And he's got that 24-inch blade on there. He uses it to push snow around parking lots here in Ohio in the winter. And he also uses it, he brings it home during the summer and works on his father's land with it. And that big tractor, and it's a huge tractor. I mean, it's just when you're in it, you just get overwhelmed with the size. It is a monster tractor. It's 125 horsepower. So I think that... what happened? Are you talking to Marky? Is he excited about tomorrow? He's tired? Uh-oh. He doesn't care about us. He just wants to see his girlfriend. That's the truth of it. He loves us, but he hasn't seen his girlfriend. Well, she came to Texas with us, so. But I know he's looking forward to seeing her more than us. I could live with the truth. Wouldn't you be? Nope. Crap, how am I going to do this? It's so weird. Wing. I wonder if it auto... I haven't... I'm not... we see tedders in Ohio. I've seen auto tedders like this in Ohio. I wonder if it folds out by itself in real life. Or if that's if that's something that they just do in the game because your guy couldn't do it by hand. Like, do you manually fold that out, or is it, you know, spring loaded like that? So I have a heavy decision to make. I'll make it sound like a serious decision, but it's not really that serious. I have a my friend is letting me borrow all of his remote control airplanes. We've talked about this before, and I fixed up and painted. Like it had a lot of like white spots where the paint had rubbed off, and I also did some fixing on it. This blue. It's a Corsair. They all were blue. I'm sure they had one or two that were a different color scheme, but the general paint scheme for the Corsair was blue. And so I've got this Corsair that I didn't like it. I was afraid to fly it, and then I actually flew the thing, and I love it. It's the most beautiful airplane. It's got retractable landing gear, a little bit smaller, 55-inch wingspan. But then he also gave me the option of taking the Trojan, and the Trojan is a 4-foot wingspan aircraft. It's huge. Retractable landing gear, retractable flaps. I am hoping that when Mark is here in the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to get at least 1 or 2 video clips of them so you can see what they look like. But I've put about $60 or $70 into the Trojan because I had to buy new batteries for it and some parts to make it the gear work right. They just still don't work totally right. The fact that they need to be replaced, so it still needs probably about $70 or $80 of repair before it's complete and back into like fully like brand new functional. Maybe even more money than that, but at least $70 of work because it needs all new retracts. It needs new bay doors. It needs, you know, he banged the crap out of it with bad landings, and it's in pretty bad shape. It doesn't have the original wheels, so I need to get the original wheels and the original landings gear set up. The Corsair, on the other hand, needs about $10 more of parts to make it perfect, to make it like brand new. Same thing, rough landings. The gear got a little bit torqued, so the airplane crab walks when it's on the ground. It runs, you know, sideways. It doesn't run straight and true. So I'm debating, you know, which airplane I'm going to keep. At first, it was a no-brainer. I was like, oh, the Trojan. It's the biggest airplane. It's totally awesome. It flies, and it flies really nice. I'll tell you what. You talk about precise, like loops, rolls. It is a precision airplane. It's really snappy in the air, and you know, and it's fast on its axis. So when I bump the stick left to do a barrel roll or a straight roll, like a solid roll, it just, boom, it rolls. It's really fast at rolling. So it's great. The Corsair, it's a sloppy roll. You know, the Corsair never did invert very well. It could do it, but it was sloppy because of its gull wing. So it kind of throws the whole thing off. So I'm having a hard time because I love the way the Corsair looks. It's so mean looking in the sky. Oh my gosh. Every time it comes in, you can just hear that, you know, like as it flies over. So I'm like, and then the Trojan's kind of goofy looking, you know, because it's a trainer, so it's got a really big cockpit for 2 people on a plane that is really a 1-person airplane. And it's but it's silver, so it looks really nice in the air too. I mean, they're both gorgeous airplanes, but it needs more money. It needs more work, you know. And it's definitely been the more abused of the two. And I don't know what to do. I'm like, man, I get to pick one, but it's like, which one do I pick? Oh, I guess it's a great dilemma to have because they're both really nice airplanes, but it's still a dilemma nonetheless. But that's what I'm coming up with. Now, I don't have to make a decision soon. Like I said, he's going to be moving. He's just in his apartment now. He hasn't sold his house yet. It's going to be like at least a year. He has to sell his house first. And they're going to live in an apartment while they're trying to sell the house. And then he and his wife are and his kids, well, his daughter's going back with him right now, but he has a son too. And the wife and son are going to move once the house sells. So, you know, and then they're going to build another house. So it's going to be at least a year I'm going to get to keep these airplanes. It's just a hard decision, man. I'll let you see them. So probably what we'll do is I'll see what you guys think. You know, it doesn't mean I'm just going to make my final decision on that, but I want to see what you guys like when you see the airplanes, which one you're like, ooh, that's amazing, or that one's much better. Like what your gut instincts are when you see them. Oh, this is going to be a pain. I hate these fenced fields for windrowing. Ugh, it's getting sloppy already. Okay, there we go. Oh, this ain't gonna work. Boing. Okay, so let's see if I can force my way through, but nope. So I'm gonna really have to fold this dude all the way up. Oh man, my nose. Oh, I'll be back. My Dayquil is wearing off. It's 10 o'clock at night. That means I'm probably gonna have to take NyQuil. I hate the way it tastes. Oh, and it knocks me out. I wanted to stay up. My birthday is tomorrow. I wanted to stay up late and play video games. My birthday is 19th, so by the time you see this, it will have been tomorrow, like a week ago. Or more. Come on, you. But I wanted to stay up late. Because I'm not going to work tomorrow. I told myself I'm taking my birthday off. I don't care. Mark is coming in at 1 o'clock. I thought it was coming in at 11, but it's actually coming in at 1. And so he's in Texas at Biloxi, training for the Air Force. He's out of boot camp. He's in the training portion of it, the school portion now. And, oh, come on. You've got to be kidding me. There we go. And so he's coming home tomorrow for the holidays. And he ended up, which is cool. He got, because he's scored consistently in the top 3 people in his class, he gets to have 2 full weeks off. He doesn't have to be back on base until... So what's odd is... That's the only post that's going to really give us trouble. These we can just ignore. But when we gather the hay, we're going to need to get as much as possible. Now, I think in real life, and if you're a farmer, let me know if I'm wrong about this. I think in real life, when you ted, you probably have to wait. Oh, crap. Dang this thing. This field, we'll never mow this field again, honestly. When I grow grass on those larger fields, we will not be back in here again. This is just stupid. It's not really... It doesn't give us much grass. It's not worth this kind of hassle. Anyway, I would imagine that between the time that you actually, ted the grass and then that you rake the grass, which is what we're doing. We've been calling, in the game they call these windrowers, but from what I've seen in real life on the websites and stuff, they actually call them rakes. So we're raking right now. We're raking the grass. So between the time that you rake and the time that you ted, I think there probably is either a couple weeks or maybe even a couple months, but probably a couple weeks of dry, or days maybe. I don't know. I guess probably days. You ted it and then let it sit for a day or two and probably ted it again. And then, windrow it and collect it. Because you want to get... The whole point of tedding is to get rid of the moisture. Hay is dried grass. Well, you can't dry it unless you, ted it. So... Or you let it sit out for a really long time. But the tedding basically stirs the grass up, flips it over, gets some of the moisture off of it, and just gets it into the place where it's, drier. Into a state where it's drier. Oh my gosh. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming in real life you would not ted and then immediately windrow and collect. You would do the windrowing at least a couple days after you did the tedding. I would think it'd probably even maybe a longer period of time, but I'll try to make that curve a little less harsh here. Chewing my cough drop, I apologize. I hate mouth noises. But the show must go on. I need to play World of Tanks more. I apologize, Michael. I have not logged in yet. Mr. Green. I shall do it. Oh, probably tomorrow morning. All right. Let's do this. Boop. Yeah, it's going to mess up that line, but who cares? Now, 3 rows is the max. Like somebody said, it actually breaks down. Real life, it breaks down and you get less. So I want to try to avoid double rowing as much as possible. But in this case, it probably will help us collect it a little easier. I hate being sick. And it's my birthday. I knew it. I knew it. I freaking knew I was going to get sick on my birthday. I knew it. In my head, I kept telling myself that you're not going to get sick. You've made it this far. You're not going to do it. And in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm going to get sick before my birthday. I know it. I just couldn't dodge all these colds. I knew it had to happen eventually, so here it is. At least I didn't get hit hard. Aside from being a little bit tired, I've been able to pretty much carry on. I worked all day today. So I did cut loose an hour and a half early, but I usually work till 9 o'clock, but I quit at 7. And I worked all day yesterday till 10, actually. So, it sucks. Okay, we're done in here. I'm pretty much over trying to squeeze this thing in here. We've got some rows we can work with. Let's make some bales. I'd be shocked if we got more than 5 bales out of here. Maybe what I should have done is prime it with hay. You can trick the computer. If you collect hay, like 80%, and then collect 20%, I'm sorry, if you collect straw in your baler, like 80, you fill it up 80% with hay, and then you go pick up some straw, or vice versa. If you pick up 80% straw, and then you go pick up like 20% hay, it'll actually convert it. Watch what happens when I do this. So I've got 51% of this is straw, but as soon as I start picking up hay, it's going to switch over to hay. Watch. So you could, if you have a really small grass field, you can just go fill the whole thing up almost with hay, and then that last like 2%, you can fill it up with like a little bit of straw or hay. I'm sorry, my brain is not working right. You could fill it up with straw all the way, and then just grab a little teeny bit of hay, and then you'd have like tons of bales of hay, like just a little bit. Oh, look, I'm full. Oh well, what are you gonna do? You think of that stuff afterwards. I've already done the whole kit and caboodle here. Oh, and I'm also used to stopping. I'm just going to keep rolling here, but I'm so used to stopping to unload the baler. It's a little awkward to just keep rolling. Oh, come on. How many bales have I gotten so far? 1. About to get 2. Well, 5 was the goal. I don't know if we're going to hit that. I wish this was like Pikmin, where you could throw it into a big flower and then have it convert to another thing. If you've ever played Pikmin, you'll know what I'm talking about. You take your little Pikmin characters. If they're red, and you need a blue, and you need more blue Pikmins. You toss them into a blue flower, it eats them and spits them back out, and they're blue. You can have a big hay flower and a big straw flower, and you can switch your blade identity, your blade gender. We're getting quite radical on this program. Swing a little too far left. Oh. Or should I say liberal? Oh no, my nose. Hold on. After this, I'm definitely quitting and going to bed. It's like one of those things. It's like I'm just sitting here, and all of a sudden my nose just randomly starts running like down my face. I'm like, wait, stop it! Well, at least it's not the flu. I never get the flu anymore, actually. Well, I'm in a pickle now. I just don't get the flu. I haven't had it for years. Like, literally, probably... Well, I've had stomach flu, but not, like mild cases of it. I just don't get, like, hard flu, like, where I'm throwing up and stuff, thankfully. I'd rather have sinus, maybe, except for the flu usually goes through in, like, a day or two. Unfortunately... Like I've told you guys before, I had asthma when I was a teenager, like a weird, like, I don't know if it was allergy induced or something, but I had like this, like a couple asthma attacks, and I haven't had the problem since, except for when I do like heavy exercise. Like if I go jogging, I can't jog. It aggravates it, and I start having it again. But I can walk and I can bicycle and I can do like swimming and stuff like that. But when I do like heavy like cardio, I just start to fall apart. But anyway, it's always been a problem. And I was on I'm just gonna get myself in so much trouble. I was gonna say an inhalator, but that would just be so. I got better. But ever since that time, I have had. When I get when I get a cold, it almost always turns into either bronchitis or pneumonia. I had walking pneumonia last year, or 2 years ago, but this year I haven't gotten it, except for I'm starting to get sick again. But I'm just praying that the next 2 weeks it'll pass. And it's been 3 days so far, and I'm already starting to feel not a lot better, but. As far as like not being tired, I feel better. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm just hoping and praying it doesn't turn into that kind of thing again, because it's horrible when it hits, and then I'm sick for months. And you guys remember? I mean, there was a cold that people were getting about 4 years ago now, maybe even 5 years ago, where people, like I met with a bride that for her wedding consultation, she was coughing. I'm like, man, you sound terrible. And she's like, I know, I've had this for 2 months. And there was that where everybody was getting it. So, it does go around, but I'm that person that always gets that kind of thing, and it just goes on for months.
I got my present back.
How did you do that?
Okay, because they had this switch thing, like, where you can either steal... Okay,
I've played that before. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so then I stumbled, only some of the girls wanted it, and all the boys were like, no, take it. So then I took it, and then I got it back, and then I won it. So I get it. It actually dyes snow.
Oh, really? You take snow and you make dye?
She's going to help me. She's going to make a snowman, and then I can decorate those.
Okay, honey. That sounds like fun. Hey, Cha, you want to come say hi to everybody? This is my daughter, Evelyn, for those of you that have seen some of the older videos. She's going to start playing again, aren't you, Cha?
Yeah.
You like playing. Cha actually joins me a lot of times when we're not online. Cha will join me and play. Or when we're not recording, she's on here playing with me. So she's a good help. You're a good farm helper, aren't you, Cha?
Yeah.
I love you, Cha.
I love you too.
I got good kids. Even though they're noisy. Somebody on one of my videos, I think part 2 for this series, he's like, why are your kids so noisy? I'm like, obviously you don't have any kids. Or you would be asking that. Why are your kids noisy? Wait a minute, we're talking about kids. They're noisy. That's what they do. Did we get our 5 bales? We got, let's see. I'm too busy talking to even notice. Okay, there's 1. I don't think we got that many. 2, 3, 4. Oh, maybe 5. There we go. We might have even got more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yes, I know there's a mod that counts them. 5. It looks like it. I think we just got 5. No, there's 6. There's another one back there. Pardon me. So 6. Is there a 7th? No, I thought I saw one on the fence there. 7, 6. 6 bales. That's what we wanted. So let's go ahead and put the tractors away for the night, and we'll call this an episode. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Be sure to subscribe. If it's already Christmas, then Merry Christmas. I think this probably will come out around Christmas. Also, but if it's not, then Happy New Year. And thanks, guys, for being part of this channel. I hope that we will have animals soon. I know this is Animal Farm, and it's taken us 7 episodes, and they're coming, I promise. Now that we have the food all together, the silage is going to be... Actually, I'm going to be getting off here, Soup. I'm going to be getting off. I'm sorry, Lel. Hang on, we'll think about it. Maybe we'll keep going. Maybe we'll start another episode. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. On the farm, anyway.